Good morning and welcome back finally to Sosnovka. Very sorry for the delay in service. I've had an incredibly busy summer with very little free time. Moving house, we've established a new garden, we built a racing car. I've had to do some extra work to pay for all of the above. So yeah, we're back, and thanks to Kevin, one of our subs, for that final little poke of, oi, pull your finger out and do some more. I'm enjoying these, so thank you very much. And really, that's what I'm after here, guys. I'm not here for the fortune or the fame. I just like a little bit of feedback, a little bit of interaction, some comments, some suggestions. I'd quite like to get a playthrough maybe with a little bit of multiplayer going on. I have done some experiments with another one of our subs who hopefully will be interested in doing some combined ops. My intention is to continue Sosnovka. I don't know where we might draw a line under it. I'm thinking maybe 100 cows, but we'll see. Been some small developments in the game, the biggest of which, or the most noticeable of which for me, is the release of the Farming Classics pack. Simply because yeah, I love the way the game plays with that small old equipment. Obviously mods wise we've had the Massey Ferguson pack, etc., which is kind of similar kind of vein, but no, those old classics, the Boer tractor with the most enjoyable engine sound in the game as far as I'm concerned. There'll be a playthrough with that, but anyway, today's business is here, so we're going to start off just by running the weeder over this planted grass from the field border that we've borrowed. There'll be 3 times fertilised, then hopefully maximising the yield. We'll let him get on with this, and we'll get these guys up here harvesting. Now, if I recall correctly, I just need to be a little bit careful up here for the worker, because we get very close to the shed, which I like having here. But it does mean we need to probably get him up here and then put the worker on. We'll see if he's got to terms with the scary House of Doom up here. No, let's just take him on this line manually, shall we? Oh no, we got the worker back on. You gonna stay on this time? Yes, he is. You haven't completed your task. Right, he's going to do okay. Why are we going to turn around up here? Not that long, I guess. What we're looking at, September, October, November, till the next version of the game comes out. To be honest, I've not seen anything so far I'm too amazingly thrilled about. Horses, anything that adds another dimension to the game in terms of gameplay is great. I'm not sure why everyone's so excited about John Deere being in the game, so excuse me if you are. I don't see it's just another kind of tractor, excuse me, but there you go. But everyone seems to be talking about the fact there's John Deere in it as if it's some mega technical development, but we'll see. I know better. I'm far too old and cynical to believe hype and teaser trailers and blah blah blah, but it'll be new, and my intention is really to get this YouTube thing maybe trundling along, get a bit of regularity in it, so that when 19 comes along we can kind of hit the floor running, take the game apart together and share our findings with whoever wants to listen to them. Anyway, I'm just gonna see what we should plant. We've been sticking with soy in these top fields, and the price, it is starting to drop a little bit. We're going to plant soy one more day because I'm actually quite interested. We've kind of kept it selling around 1,000, down 900, so pretty good. Grain elevator's going back up in price. Transport company has taken a hit now, as has the vegetable warehouse, which is where we've been putting it all in, so let's just continue to see. So off you go. You've finished harvesting. In fact, we can park you up here for a minute. Give you a pipe out. You've got to come around here, just do one more strip. I'm actually thinking of maybe ploughing this out next time we plough. I think I'm going to increase this field width just a little bit because it seems to make sense. We can go up to the level of these trees, get a little bit more cultivated ground and not waste the fertilizer like we are now. I could be doing my zippy back and forth thing, but I'll get back into the swing of all of that. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you've all had a great summer. Certainly, as I mentioned, here in England we've had weeks and weeks. It's just started to rain this week, but we've had weeks and weeks of high temperatures, blue skies, no rain. It's been fantastic, and unusually for England we got the same weather for long enough. I don't know quite where I'm going there, a little bit sidetracked. I need to be getting the tipper. Yeah, it's unusual in England for us to have a long spell of the same weather, which is what makes it most hard to deal with usually. You can see this guy's had this little freak out about the scary house, so we'll have to tidy up the planting for him. Yeah, so to have a few weeks where it's just nice and hot and you know your body gets used to it, and you know the clothes you leave for working in the morning are going to be the clothes you want to be coming home with in the evening, which is often a bit of a gamble. Yeah, it's been great. It's been really good. We've tried to establish a new garden, vegetable patch and stuff, which has been quite hard work actually in view of the dryness, because we've had to get the water situation sorted out and some irrigation, but that's all come along pretty nice. Not nearly as nicely as Sosnovka though, but there's plenty of time. Right, so while the field team is up on the top fields doing their business, this guy is going to go up into the woods and start doing a little bit of logging. Then he's going to rejoin the other guys back down here. We're going to get a manure spreader. I'm just going to start using some of the lovely manure that the cows have made. Get that out there, get the fertilizer costs down even further. Now, in the subject of costs, I think wages is obviously a big cost. We discussed that before, but we're not actually that concerned about that. It's just the way things have to be. In terms of getting vehicle maintenance costs down, it's just not really conceivable for us to replace the tractors because they're worth so little, as is the case really with the combine. But it's costing us over $2,000 a day at the moment in maintenance. We could locally source a bit of a classic old harvester for about 40,000 euros, credits, whatever we're going to call them, and get that cost down. But of course that's going to cost us about 40,000, which is 20 days worth of the money we think we're wasting on the harvester we've got currently. So there's a balance to be had. We'll have a little think about that later, but at the moment we haven't got the money to do either, so it's a bit of a moot point. Oh, I forgot, look, we had a spare forestry grab up here. Anyway, let's just go and check on the field, guys. Right, he's empty. He's pretty much finished sowing. We've got to tidy that patch over. We're going to carry on with the pellet fertilizer for 2 runs up here, and then weed for the first plant growth stage to get the 3rd stage on there. On the bottom fields we're going to get at least, hopefully, 1 fertilizer coverage done with the manure. I mean, as we saw with the liquid slurry a couple of episodes ago, it doesn't go very far. As the number of cows go up, that'll be more of an option. But yeah, so let's get a soaring. Now I'm gonna pretty much stick to the trees we want, these big hefty chaps. Here we go, into the clear space, nice and straight. You will probably notice that I'm a little bit rusty on the controller front. There will be even more faffing than usual, but that's okay. Gaming wise, I've done very little. I did get back into Eve, well, I'm always into Eve. How involved I get with Eve is really the question, because as I think I've mentioned before, having played it for 10 years and being in quite, organised corps and alliances, it gets very, very involved. I actually have other characters I use in the game, so I can go and have a bit of a play without getting involved all that. That's one of the nice things about Eve. If you log in as a different character, nobody knows it's you. But yeah, that's taken. But I've really not had much time. Fallout 4 was had a little bit of a run in. I finally nearly finished the DLC on the Nuka World. I got Spin Tyre's Mud Runner on the Game Pass. In fact, what I'm thinking of doing maybe is a little bit more of a casual aside, is just doing quick videos as guides to some of the Game Pass games, because there are some very nice games going on there now. But we'll see. Let's see. Let's get the farming out of the way first. And of course we've got to get back to Goldcrest Valley in the seasons. So there is lots to be done. Now my intention really is to carry on playing the same way. I mean, at no point have I gone to maximise our income. Of course I haven't. I could easily make a day, 12 hours at least of game time if I really wanted to, playing the whole thing in real time. I wonder how much money you could make off of logging if you actually did that. But at the same time, the intent of this has really been to show you, or to help you grasp, that you can do lots of good work and make some decent money without the biggest and the best equipment. Certainly if I get that classic pack playthrough running, you will see that. First field is all complete and planted and double fertilized. Oh, so now all I need to do is press the right button. Hitch, please hitch. Yay. Let's get across. See how the hubs is getting on the other stolen field. And there's still plenty of room for expansion here without buying any more fields whatsoever. Something that we will certainly be looking into quite keenly. Why has Harvester Man stopped? Let's see, shall we? He just seems to have got bored. Okay, fair enough. Get you off and running. And in fact, what should we do? We'll leave the trailer just out the way here for now. Start the fertilizing and then bring the seed around. Still got some of that radish that we planted by accident the other day in my flustered finger panic, but not to worry. Right, we've left one plough up here, the 4-metre Lemken plough. One of my personal favourites, but we do also have the small plough, albeit only a 2-metre plough, that came with the bulldozer that we got from the man from the forestry ministry. That's quite a handy little one to have along, just to do little jobs with. We'll leave that plough up here for now. We still need to go and see the man at the vehicle dealers, because he did have his plans about this whole renovation of Sosnovka. Make Sosnovka great again, he said. So we'll do a play our part in that, shall we? Right, yes. I think we can safely for a moment or two get back to the forestry. Right, we've got this big chap here. We need to be particularly careful that we don't flatten our pretty little shelter. There we go. Ta-da. Crouch. Trim. Oh, he's a lovely big one, this one. Actually, these ones aren't worth as much as the other trees. You see this kind of pattern here on the bark. The big ones that are worth the most money are these ones are just kind of mottled texture. These ones are worth slightly less money. But it doesn't matter. Not for now, anyway. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see they're a bit shorter, actually. But he was too close to the shelter. Definitely a hazard during a high wind or a storm, so he's got to go. And as I mentioned before, we will take some of these stumps out and replant some trees up here. Because I certainly don't want to be the chap that created an empty hill where there was once a beautiful woodland. Right, one tree done. Back to the troops. Yes. Ah, look, we haven't actually got a fight going on here. I haven't seen that before. Fantastic. It's one way to stop wasting fertilizer, isn't it, Mr. Harvester? Just ram him out of the way. Fantastic. He's stuck already. Oh, right, now this is where the problems might start already. Interrupting this guy. I think it is using the two tools that really causes most of the problems here. Because the AI is trying to figure out which tool's doing what. In 15 you could, by the order that you hitched the implements to your tractor, tell it which one governed the AI, if you see what I mean. 17, that just doesn't seem to work. I'm sure whatever you hitched on last was the one that the AI would kind of work from. So you could control it a little bit better here, because he can cultivate and recultivate what he's already seeded. He just seems so open to confusion, so we're going to keep an eye on him. In fact, you know, we don't want to hassle him. We'll back off, pretend we're not watching. No. Oh, just gonna have. Look how dirty these things have got again already. Crazy. Oh, we had Mr. Trump over. He came for tea. Oh, that he's getting it all wrong. Silly man. Right. Yeah, Mr. Trump popped over for tea. That was quite funny, especially all the silliness that went on in London. I mean, oh, I don't mind Mr. Trump. He has some crazy ideas, but no crazier than the next guy. I think it's just hilarious. It's a bit embarrassing, really. Inflatable babies that were supposed to like be the comment. What I find really odd is how there seems absolutely open season on Donald Trump, the President of the United States. I remember once, because I aggravated an immigration guard at Memphis airport by messing about, I told my friend, I just made a joke that there were pictures of Bill Clinton up everywhere. It kind of tells you when this was. Obviously President. You don't kind of see that in England. There's portraits of the Queen dotted around here and there, but not of like the current political person. It's one of the differences between the British and American systems, I suppose, as who is head of state. So you don't see a politician's picture up everywhere like that. It's almost a bit Stalinist, I think, strikes us when you see a prime minister or, you know, that kind of elected politician, his picture up. Anyway, I made a joke that his picture was up everywhere. It must be because he was employee of the month at the airport, and the guy got that horrible with me. He deliberately, like, right, come with me. He went through all my bags, everything. They kept me there for about an hour because of one joke I made about the president and being disrespectful. And now now you don't seem to be allowed to have any respect for your president anymore whatsoever. Seems very trendy just to lampoon him and call him all kinds of ridiculous names, and I just find it a bit ridiculous, really. And when you start calling people who blatantly aren't Nazis and fascists, you kind of, I don't know, I think you put yourself in a funny situation regarding the real victims of Nazis and fascists. You're kind of undervaluing what they went through completely, aren't you? But there you go, such is life. I think it's the youngsters. I'm getting old. I think that's probably 99% of my problem, is that I'm just one of the old people now. Anyway, that's enough of my tittle-tattle. Right, let's see what he does now. I'm quite intrigued. I shouldn't really have stopped him then, but I'm actually quite concerned about how badly he's doing. Right, off-hire your worker when he's waiting to unload, because that costs you money, and we like not wasting too much money. Right, we're arriving at the bakery to sell the soy. To remember how. We need to get this guy back down to the bottom fields because the harvester is full down there. While we're up here though, we are going to buy ourselves a cow. Obviously we're going to pay for delivery. That's one cow. We'll check on the simulation. I'm sure we're going to make a cow. Making a cow every 28 hours. So we are going to get another cow today, so we need to buy 1 cow. Buy 1 cow. Confirm. 43 cows. And off we go. The bulldozer is still up in the woods. He's had a little bit of an incident. We'll have a look at that later and fix that. The big Zeta is with the Lowloader and the seeder and the front cultivator up at the shop to pick up today's lease item, which is going to be a manure spreader. These are the free vanilla ones, as it were. So he's affordable as a lease item, 880, not too bad. We got the major Muckout, which is a mod, and he chucks it out of the side. He holds 5,000, he holds 15,000. So he'd be 2,000 to lease. No, that's quite expensive. That's not going to save us money. 700 for the major Muckout. He's going to be expensive. I haven't got the Farm Classics pack installed in this because I don't really want it to cross over. I want to keep that kind of separate, but who knows. So we're going to go for major Muckout, $700. We don't need anything special whatsoever. He is leased. Just about made it in one piece. There may have been a little bit of a clonk along the way that upset things slightly, but we're all here. All down to my impatience. The team is ready for what is required of it. So open the... No, don't touch anything. You sir can move around and pick up your cedar. The harvester's just getting on with it. I left the trailer over there. He auto emptied into it while I was doing the fleet management. There we go. Ah, petrol. Yes, definitely not running out of petrol ever again, are we, team? That's okay. He hasn't got much to do for now, because the other guys will let the little Zeta have the first go with the muck spreader. I can't see it being a problem. It's not a particularly big piece of equipment. Right, now you're going to back up onto here. On with the show. Right, I did mention a little bit of a dicey situation up in the woods that this guy was going to sort out. He hasn't, because we needed him back down here to do the front loadering, because he had the arms. Right, how exact does this need to be? Well, not too exact. That's good news for me. We can pass it. I think we're going to take about 3 buckets, are we? Let's see. I didn't check the numbers. Oh, sorry. In 19, you know, I heard something about damage perhaps and deterioration, but we'll see. And also the game modes. I mean, it does sound interesting, as I say. That you can... seems to replace maybe the difficulty levels with slightly different ways the game's structured. So it'll be interesting, it'll be good, we shall learn about it. And learning's always fun. Well, unless you're learning a particularly tough lesson that life's teaching you. But who needs to hear about that? Right, I think this is going to fill this up. Oh yes. Okay, little Zeta. Now this looks like it's going to throw it, as I say, out to the side. So let's see. So do I Can I? So, is this it? Right, let's see. I'm really happy to let the worker do this. Let's check. Oh my word. Let me jump out. Oh, you can kind of see, yeah. I like the texture on the ground, that's pretty cool. And are we going to be okay? Turning round. Right, big Zeta. All fueled and ready to go. You can come around and start planting. What should we plant over here? Of course, we've got the silage wraps. That is fermented. We don't need to mix any food at the moment, particularly. So that's what that silage is for. It's not intended for selling. That's what the bales might be for. Oh no, yeah, the worker's quite happy with that. So we'll have a little look at the prices in case there's anything odd, really odd going on. We're up to 344 on barley. 407 on wheat, 394 on wheat. We'll go for wheat then. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Muck Spreader. Where are you going, Mr. Muck Spreader? Oh, I see. Oh no, he's very happy with what he's up to. Okay, needs his first top up. So I'm just going to come over and bring him the rest of that bucket. Just to get him on his way. Oh my, what? Bulldozer got it right in the base layer, didn't it? Okay, I really don't want to stop this seeder guy after all his issues on the last build. I shouldn't have started him yet. Come on guys, figure it out. We're all friends here. Harvest is done, so we'll actually let it empty itself over here before we whiz it over to the next field. He's getting through that pretty quickly, so we'll get another bucket ready. We're going to see if we can keep these guys running as much as possible. We had a bit of a faffy day for us actually. Before now we've got everything done in 2 hours. We've got this much done in 2 hours. Oh look, he's ready already. Okay. A little bit rough with him. But he repays the bulldozer. Okay, we're going to be in bulldozer, or flick to in bulldozer next time we do that if we can. The other option is, of course, we could see if we could procure a bigger bucket. Now bucket's a bit more relevant. It's been used as an emergency loading wagon component, and it's been used to clear up the feeding trough, and that is literally it so far. That one obviously filling up the seeder and stuff, but now that this is a bit more of a, yeah, it'd be kind of cool if we could, oh no, see, oh, can we catch him? Can we catch him while they're tangled up? Because I think they'll sort themselves out. Go on, quick, get in there. Oh no, it's on the floor. Quick, we can get it, we can get it. Oh, who'd have thought? Look at this, Fast and Furious gameplay from Farm Simulator. Chase the poo truck, I'm going to call this one. We can do it, we can do it. We'll check how much of this we started with. I didn't specifically check before we started it, but obviously it's recorded from when we added that cow, which wasn't very long ago at all. So that'll be where we were. Okay, We might start filling this on the other side. Right, we're going to get in camera, in cab even. Alright. Switch to him. Go. I'm glad we missed the full gore of that. Right, you can see how we're going with this. We're going to carry on doing it until we've run out of manure. Time to meet up with the harvester, I think. If he makes it to the end of the field, I won't have to drive in the crops. Hopefully that is the case. Right, it took us, let's just check what we've got left. 30,000 liquid manure left there. We started with just under 50,000, like 49,650. So he's 40% on that one field. Manually refilling it and keeping up was pretty much a constant chore over there. It was actually a little bit of fun. I like it when the game makes you actually get a little bit busy. You're certainly not going to be manually wanting to reload a muck spreader this size if you've got very far to go between the pile of manure and it. But obviously what we can do over here in our options is tell our worker to get his manure straight from the cow manure heap. So we will now let him do that and we'll see how far he'll go. The harvester must be almost full, yes. So we'll get him emptied and then we can bring the seeder over because enough will be fertilised and we'll just see how we get on. Nothing additional or complicated. I'm not going to sell any wood or any bales today either. We're just going to get the raw figure for the cows. We haven't bought anything apart from the $700 it's going to cost us to lease. The manure spreader, so we'll just have a nice kind of raw day. Nature will bring us another cow. He's doing that, fantastic. And we'll just bring him over. Okay, so the observant among you may have noticed that I brought a trailer half full of barley to empty a harvester full of soybeans, so that didn't go too well. So there you go, take two. At least it lets this guy get on, although they do whiz along. I think it's 12 miles an hour with this manure spreader, the major Muckout. Major Muckabout if you want to keep filling it manually, as we saw on the last field. But anyway, so let's get this guy over. We're gonna, oh, I don't know what we're gonna, the price of soy does seem to actually be going down now. It's very portable. We can't do sunflowers, we can't do corn, so our options are canola. Let's do a field of canola just for a change, shall we? There we are. Get through more seed, so that could be an issue because we haven't got a lot. Oh, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Canola day. Right, he can get going again, and he will finish this field, I'm sure, before he needs refilling, so we can drop the trailer off. We may as well, we'll drop it off back down by the farm end of this field, and then this chap can get on with the mowing, and all these jobs should get finished at the same time. We may wrap the bales today, but I'm not going to sell them, as I said. So we're going to remember where we left the mower, which is over here. Let's remember to give everything a nice wash later. We're doing, don't think we're going to need to give the cows any food at all, but we'll have a check before we call it a day. And I'm just going to do the mowing manually, pulling the baler behind me. Mower lower and start, pick up lowered, baler turned on, cruise control on. Off we go. Well, the 50,000 litres of manure went exactly this far. We've run out, so we'll switch back to the nasty chemicals. It's half hour we've used on the lease time on the muck spreader, so we could have got much more value out of it, but there you go. And that was with 50,000, so I guess to do both fields we're really looking about 65, 70,000. We'll drop him off there. In fact, we'll flick once we've got this guy going to just return him back from here. But he's not hitched, so he's not going to cost us any more time now anyway. The harvester's done. We'll check the prices, see where we want to sell. We've mown and baled. Ooh. It's quite odd switching back to this tractor vehicle. It does steer in a slightly different way. Right, off you go. We'll just make sure he turns the right way and doesn't come back just for that little strip. We can live without that getting fertilised for one pass. And then, well, we need to refertilise both these fields as well for their second run, so still a little bit more of that work to do, but we'll do that off camera. Well, it's a beautiful night here in Sosnovka. It's almost midnight. We're doing the traditional tidy up our cow friends and wait for the daily results to come in. We bought one cow today and we've given birth to one cow today. So we've met our 2 cow per day increase quota fantastically. We've used the weeder on all of the fields, so they're all fully fertilised. We've also used it on the strip of grass, so that's double fertilised now because it is counts as once fertilised just from cutting it, which is handy. And we've got today, we shan't sell them till tomorrow, 11 bales of silage out of our strip of stolen grassland. So we need to just wait for 1 minute. We've washed all of the tractors and the combine. We're going to give the bulldozer a wash in the morning. Just a little hint though, the weeder in the descriptions it says, or I think in the tutorial part, it does say that it only works after the first growth stage. That is not true. You can use it after any growth stage, so in theory you could just use the weeder and never pay for fertilizer again. But we'll stick to using it once a day, even if we're a little bit flexible on which growth stage it might be. In fact, because just randomly, because of the times that we were planting today, you see this field here is in different growth stages anyway, so that would be a bit of a pain. I actually physically waited another 4 hours or whatever it is for that half of the field to catch up with that half. Right, we haven't had all the money. We need to wait till a minute past midnight. These 2 bales of hay have escaped from somewhere. I've no idea where. We'll have a bit of a tidy up around here tomorrow. We have of course got our stash of bales for 3 more loads of mixed rations. We've got straw, but the animals are fully fed and watered, at least until tomorrow. Unfortunately I had to reset the game because the recorder crashed, but we're making a cow about every 27 hours at the moment, which is fantastic. With what we learnt today was about 65,000 just to do the 2 fields on one pass, and that you need a very big manure spreader if you're not going to let them refill automatically using the option on the menu. Right, there you go, all the numbers are done. So where are we today? We haven't really bought any equipment. Well, we bought no equipment at all. We're obviously looking at Thursday's results because now we're just ticked over into Friday. So 1 cow, vehicle running costs creeping up, but still around that 4,500 a day. Leasing costs quite low today. Animal upkeep, well obviously that creeps up as the number of cows creeps up. Property maintenance, $15. That's for the shed in the woods actually, I think. Sold wood, none. Sold bales, none. But we've got 11 to sell first thing in the morning. We've made another additional $900 on the milk today. We've bought quite a lot of petrol. That's evening out actually, isn't it? About $300 a day, so that's where we are with that. Fertilizer cost, we still bought 3 bags today, but we haven't used much of it at all. So that is going to come down. I don't think we're going to buy any fertilizer tomorrow if we can repeat a similar process, although of course we're not using manure. Harvest income has gradually declined. Now whether that is because we're slowly affecting the price of soy, I'm not sure, or just a coincidence. We'll have a look where we are tomorrow. We've done no jobs for ages. We don't really need to anymore. We could do if we wanted some extra cash quickly, or we're looking to buy a field and get the cost down. Wage payment has come down a little bit. I'm not quite sure why it's quite that high. We didn't do anything too unusual today. Yesterday was plough day, so that's why that's so much higher, but we'll see. It'll even out. And the admin fee at the bottom. So there you go. We've actually made a $6,000 profit today just on the basic farming, so that's not bad. Right, everything's gone to bed. I'm going to go to bed. So thank you very much for watching. Welcome back. Comments, please. Feedback, interaction. That's all I'm after. And there will be another episode of this very, very soon. I promise you. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.